So, you know, I can't help but touching briefly, the chemtrail thing has been something fascinating to me, and
Yes.
I've looked into it a little without going into a long thing about it. First of all, you believe they're real, and on top of that, if I follow you right, and on top of that, that they do pose some sort of threat. You know, that's an issue that, like the concentration camp thing, maybe even more so, there's speculation mixed with fact. But, in fact, chemtrails are real in your view?
Absolutely. Of course, there's a bill. I don't remember the number of the bill, but if you go to the website, there is a chemtrail bill in the Senate right now that it is real. And there are many declassified documents that you could read online that chemtrails have been in existence since the 50s. And they're using it in every country in the world. Whether it's for changing the weather, affecting the soil, affecting the crops, affecting the insects, affecting the lives of people in the upper respiratory system, it is real. And to keep the body clean, I think we have to really be our own doctors. We have to be our own doctors, not rely on other people. And how do you feel about that, Mark?
Well, you know, I think that you put it in a pretty good perspective that these chemtrails may have all sorts of purposes. Some of them more benign than others. Some of them maybe a little bit more criminally inclined than others. Who knows? But I have seen them, and they are distinguishable, I think, from contrails, which are just simply exhaust from jet planes.
Right. The contrails disappear in 30 to 50 seconds or 60 seconds, and the other ones just spread and keep spreading. And eventually they cover a beautiful blue sky.
Yeah, they look like...
And we've seen it a million times. I was actually, about 2 months ago, I was with a friend of mine, and we were at an airport, and we just kind of sat down and relaxed and laid down on the grass and looked up, and we saw about 10 different planes spraying. And the same red plane was going back and forth, shutting it off. We saw it 10 minutes later, it would come back another way, and we'd just keep spraying. And it was just unbelievable. If we just take time out of our life and look up, you'll see things that would probably you wouldn't believe because you just don't pay attention to it. So, yes, chemtrails are real, Mark. They are real. And
yeah, I didn't deny their physical presence in as much as not knowing what they're about.
Nobody really knows, do they? I know one thing. There was a picture on one of the websites that showed these gigantic 30 or 55-gallon containers where normal passenger seats would be, and they loaded this whole plane with these chemical containers. And I was shocked. Did you see that one?
I did. I had seen something that refuted it, that said it was that it wasn't what it appeared to be. I never really followed it through to its conclusion, though. But I think the point you made, without getting too far into this, is that if you take the time to stop and look, like when I was on a long bus ride with a big picture window in this passenger bus, I had hours and hours and hours to look at the skies over Illinois. And after a while, kind of like looking at the stars, and you begin to see patterns, but this is more clear than that. After a while, you begin to see the anomalies, the odd-looking straight bar-shaped clouds that don't look natural at all.
Absolutely. It's overwhelming. I'm watching a Monsanto video on YouTube this morning, and as the farmer was speaking, I don't think anybody caught this, there were 7 straight white lines over his farm, and Monsanto people were looking at this man's farm in the Midwest and taking all his crops, and they actually had lawyers' letters sent to him. And as he's talking about it, I don't even think the guy realized it, but they were spraying his farm as he was doing the video. It was shocking to me, Mark.
Yeah, you know, I think it's, to kind of wind up this part of the conversation, we're all put into this matrix of multimedia, billboards to read, and radio and TV to listen to, billboards, ads everywhere. The corporations run the government rather than the government protecting our sovereign rights. And we can kind of detour off this, though, but that's an interesting segue, I think, that I'll talk more about on this show with you and other people. But we're coming up on some messages, though, but what are a couple of other products, or at least one other one? I'm seeing
Well, the one that we just talked about was microplant powder. If anybody's interested in that for their health and to see a difference in their skin, hair, and nails in a very short period of time, Sillica is so needed in the body to push up the collagen and to take away wrinkles. It will make your skin beautiful. I just wanted to mention that, Mark.
Something for the ladies to consider there, too, in what you just said.
I'm going to tell you, my skin's beautiful because of this product. I was lacking silica for years, and it's not found in the soil. It won't be in the fruits and vegetables, okay?